Hello, my name is John Rose, and in this video I'm going to take a closer look at the simple difference between cholesterol and fiber. And I'm going to start this off by explaining a very simple version that I thought of a long time ago when I first started studying nutrition. To look at this simplistically, fiber and cholesterol are different in a simple way. All plants use fiber to build their cell walls. All animals use cholesterol to build their cell walls. Now, we humans, we need that cholesterol. It's a precursor to all of our other hormones. And don't forget, our body's nothing but a bunch of cells and two fluids. The blood is a kitchen, it's alkaline, it feeds the cells. Everything that eats eliminates, it eliminates 3 pH, it's very acidic. So the bathroom is the lymph system. It cleans and protects the cells. It is a lipid-based, cholesterol-based fluid to deal with the acid side of chemistry. So it's really very simple. Plants and fiber, animals and cholesterol. Now take a look at how many animals don't eat other animals. And yet they're still an animal. They can build their cell walls. They can make their own cholesterol, so we don't need to eat cholesterol. Now how about fiber? Should we eat fiber? Of course. In fact, when you look at all of our anatomical characteristics, the most important characteristics that should help us understand what to eat is the length of our intestines. And from that perspective, it's clear we're supposed to be eating fiber. Now, what about taking a solid food vacation and we don't get any fiber? Whether we take a vacation on water or juices. Is that a good idea? Is that bad? Don't we need the fiber? You bet we need the fiber on an ongoing basis. We have bacteria in our intestines that use that fiber and produce certain essential fatty acids and help to build our immune system. So if we take a solid food vacation on water or juices, we're not getting the fiber. Isn't that dangerous? No, because we're only doing it on a temporary basis. And for some of us, we've been eating the wrong food for so long that the only way we're going to blast out that old stuff is not with fiber, but by not putting anything in there so we can redirect all that energy and have it go toward eliminating anything that might be still in there. And remember, we've got a really long food tube, so it doesn't just clean the large intestines, it cleans the small intestines where we absorb nutrients. It doesn't do any good to feed someone if they're not absorbing what they consume. That's why the best preparation for a better way of life is to take a solid food vacation. Take a break from the fiber. Oh, but John, we need the fiber. Of course we do, on an ongoing basis. The solid food vacation is only something on a temporary basis. And again, what we want to do is not waste any energy separating the fiber from the juice, which is what our body tries to do. And then when we do that, the body starts cleaning the bathroom. So when you look at anything that we do, especially something as powerful as a solid food vacation, we always look at the pros and the cons. And people who attack a solid food vacation will only point out the cons, and there are a couple. We're not getting the fiber. Oh my God, we're not getting the fiber. What's it going to do to our immune system? Well, if you take a solid food vacation for a couple years, you might want to think twice about that. Can't do it on water. Jay Cordish claimed to have done it on juices, but when I see the belly on that man, I have a hard time believing him that he didn't learn a valuable lesson when he did that and then saw how that part of his body got plugged up again. I remember I saw the juice man, Jay Cordish, when he first came into, or actually when I first found out about a raw vegan diet in June of 1990. And Jay Cordish came in town that month, so it was a really good month for me to learn about this and then see Jay. He had about 1,000 people come see him just about every event he put together. And he's really exciting, very charismatic, and really motivating to help us understand how powerful it is to get those juices. But John, what about the sugar? What about all those nutrients? Aren't we missing some things in the fiber? Yes, we are. But again, you got to look at both sides. The limitations to eating solid food is we can only consume so much. Take that fiber away from it, even though we can benefit from some of it, we'll still get lots of other nutrients that will feed us and give us what we need, so we can modify the solid food vacation on water and do it on juices. And again, we're not getting the fiber, And for some people that might be too much sugar, but they did a study not too long ago where they showed that it's not just the fiber in the juices, it's all the other micronutrients that are in the juices that keep the blood sugar from going up in someone who's healthy. If you're not healthy, then you can have blood sugar issues, and it has nothing to do with the sugar. That's not the problem. The problem is the condition of your body. So many times the condition of our body is used as an excuse why we can't do what we're supposed to do, and that's not right. If you can't eat fruit, it isn't the fruit's problem, it's your problem. This is the food we're designed to eat. Again, we're supposed to consume foods with fiber. That's the kind of animal we are. Said it many times, there's about a dozen anatomical characteristics. The only one we need to pay attention to, the best one we can use for a good argument as far as what to eat, is the length of our intestines. Like all plant eaters, it's like 10 times the length of our torso, and all the meat eaters, it's about 3 times the length of their torso. So it's obvious what kind of foods we're meant to eat. And don't let people who don't know that much about this keep you from having the most exciting experience of your life. A lot of people are really short-sighted when it comes to this. They haven't really thought this out very much. They haven't studied enough to realize that a couple hundred years ago, or let's say 160 or so years ago, with the natural hygiene movement, they were having lectures where thousands of people, 5,000 people would come and hear people talk about eating a raw vegan diet. Now with the internet, we can get more people doing that now, but it's still not the same thing. And I'm pretty convinced that it's just too hard to get people to eat healthy. And that's why I'm also convinced that a solid food vacation on juices is an idea whose time has come. And that's because we can get a lot of people to do that. I've coached lots of people who would never entertain going to a plant-based diet, let alone an unfired plant-based diet. But I got them to do a solid food vacation on juices, and guess what happened to them? They had a brand new reference. They saw what they were missing. They were finally in a position to evaluate what they were doing and what they really need to do, because they understood it was more than a fair trade. One of the biggest problems most of us have is we don't understand that it's a fair trade. We really don't know what we're missing. So for the vast majority of people, the way to wake these people up is to introduce them to a solid food vacation. I have a seminar down below in the description box. I have a 28 related video playlist that you can click onto to back up that solid food vacation. Check out the comment section on my YouTube channel, and you'll see people doing this for many different reasons and seeing unbelievable results. Now the rule of thumb is simple. If what you're doing isn't working, you don't do it. And you don't have to start with a solid food vacation if you don't want to. As long as you work at correcting 5 main mistakes, you're playing your role in making this a better place to live. And once we finally can wake up enough people to correct that first mistake, the cooking of our food, the destroying of the biophotons that feed one of our senses, that in effect have made us lose one of our senses, which changed our mentality, which is why we're in the boat we're in right now and we can't get out. If we can ever do that, my God, this planet will transform in a way you just won't believe. People will argue, well, we can't feed the planet the way it is now. Of course not. But when we reach the tipping point, things will change so much. So if you see negative things with raw food or fasting, a solid food vacation, always look at both sides and realize that the biggest problem we face as a species is our mentality. It's our biophoton level, which are destroyed. These biophotons are destroyed when we cook our food. That's why this is the most important thing that we have to understand as a species. This is the fall of mankind. This is why we're in the boat we're in right now, why we suffer so much. But we could change that. It all begins with you. And when you can wake up to that reality and join the hero's journey, I can guarantee you, you're in for a treat.